hopefully if the sound quality is great, we're gonna post it as well. So you'll have this for, I don't know, forever and ever, I suppose. So we're gonna see how it goes. And I'll be quite honest, guys, if the sound quality is really, really bad, then I may just post the PowerPoint with my notes and go from there. So we're gonna try this, and it is what it is. I don't know how I'm gonna like this, because I'm used to walking around and never stuck to a mic. I was giggling, I probably could do this just as loud, but they really did ask me to use a mic, so I'm going to do it. Welcome. Can you believe we got here? Okay, I hear giggles. You know what I'm talking about. Can you believe we're actually here? It's so cool to see this room full. Yesterday, your sweet peas were in this room with me, and we filled it. We filled every single seat. I had a couple sitting with the pillows because I had the pillows, and they were so excited about sitting on the pillows on the floor and in some of the chairs. And they were just like, and I'm like, this is the most attentive you've been in 4 years. They were really good. And so you're getting an extended version of their meeting, because let's be honest, you are the ones that are paying more attention than they are. Now, they paid attention to the fun parts. Probably, maybe not, but we'll see. We know who has all the information, so let's give this a go. And I have a clicker, and I have all kinds of stuff. So I got props and my Diet Coke, and I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Wow, graduation. I know, it's crazy. It is absolute crazy. Graduation is May 22nd. That is Friday. That is the very last day of school. At 7:30 on our football field. Yay, yay, yay. Yeah, we've been graduating seniors at Boulder City High School since 1942 was our first graduating class. You do all the math and do all the consecutive things and stuff. This is our 85th graduating class. 85, I know, kind of super cool. It's here. I know you may not have thought it was going to be here in August or maybe 4 years ago, but it is here and coming really, really soon. And this is the fun part, right? But we know all the trials and tribulations and the ups and the downs to get them here. So let's talk about some of those things. The purpose of this meeting, yay, you're here. As I was seeing a lot of you come in tonight, some of you, I know this is your last one. And some of you, I know this is your first one. And you may be sitting in this room with me for another year or so, or for a while, or this is it for you. And so I'm so excited for all of you. Congratulations, you got to this point. And I know it is a struggle. I know it is real. I have two of my own, and it is a struggle every single day, and I get that. And once they graduate, guys, I have to tell you, it gets worse. Parenting adult children, I thought, how hard could that be? Oh yeah, so have fun with that too, but we'll get them to graduation first. And the second thing was information. I gave you handouts. Some of you brought, you guys, I love you to death. It would have been me. You brought composition notebooks and planners, and I'm like, you were so like I was. I'd have been in the front row because of make sure my glasses I could see. Anyway, I giggle with all of you, and I understand it. And so I hope this helps. And I also hope that this makes you feel a little bit better about what's coming up in the next 25 days. Am I right? 25 starting tomorrow. School days. I know, kind of crazy. We have a lot of information on our website. If you go to our website and you Google through, go to parents and go graduation, you will find this, just as you just know that our graduation information is on here. Graduation will be live streamed as it has been for the last, Stephen, 5 years?
Ish.
5-ish years. We've been live streamed. It does not go live until about 7:25, and the reason why I know that because my mother watches every graduation in Florida, and she'll be texting me and I'm on stage, and I'm like, seriously, Mom, you realize I'm on stage? Because she's texting me going, it's not on yet, it's not on yet. I'm like, I know, give it a minute, it's fine. So yes, it is attached to our YouTube channel, and we'll have the link, and I'll probably do, I don't know, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 social media posts about that, but you'll be able to find that as well. And then the last thing on this wonderful thing is the graduation newsletter. And that was this thing that I emailed you guys about, goodness, 3-4 weeks ago now? Do you want to remember? I don't know. It was at least a couple weeks ago. It's 10 pages. It is jam-packed with all kind of information. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth. I also emailed your sweet peas. I had one of them come up to me and go, Miss Wagner, is that important? Because I haven't looked at my emails in I don't know how long, and I think I've got 3,000 emails that are unopened. They were serious. And I was like, okay. So this is how you find it. We all know the struggle's real. You have those. Maybe you don't have those at home. That's great if you don't, because if you have one, I had one of both. So it's fun. There is all kind of information in this. If you can't find that email because maybe you haven't been looking at your emails lately, because it's the email that I have on ParentLink, and that's the email that's attached to your Infinite Campus. So if you don't know what that is, it's on our website, and you can go from there. So just going to let you know about that. And this is the parent graduation meeting. Yay! When your sweet peas were sitting here yesterday, I asked them to take out their phones. They were so excited. They had no idea what I was going to ask them to do. And I said, take a pic of this and send it to your parents, your guardians, the people you love, and that you want to make sure they have this information, because you will probably forget when you walk out the door. Do you know those guys and girls got their phone out and were taking up? I was laughing. It was so cute. And so I at least talked to one person in here, and you guys were nodding. I think they sent it to you.
Nope, not me.
They love you because they were worried that they would forget something. So see, they really do love you. I know you're questioning that at times. I get that part too. They do. And so they're doing that for you as well. Like I said, we are videotaping this. It's going to be online in a couple days. So you'll have it just to hear my jokes or me without, sleep. I don't know. But here we go. I already talked about the newsletter. A lot of the stuff I'm going to talk about is in here, but I'm going to talk about it in detail and things that you can't say in an email and stuff. So that's in there. And there's some great photos too. Okay, this is for your kids. However, you can do this too. I don't care. What this is our remind system. And what this basically does, when there's things that are happening and I need to email your seniors, I will simply send out a text message to the remind, and anyone that signed up for this gets it. Now, I'm going to be talking to you like it's a senior, okay? But you can piggyback on that and go, oh, did you do that? Cords were due, or that scholarship information was due to Ms. Cox, or did you pay the fine, or... Okay, you get the idea. So you can piggyback on this if you want to. I'm not going to say that you have to. You're going to say, nope, swim or sink, it's on you. That's fine too. They are going to be, graduating in 25 days? So yes, but if you want to be a backup, a safety net, go ahead and grab it too. I have learned after doing this for many years that seniors do not read their emails. Even my valedictorians do not read their emails. So I expect that now, and so I kind of go with it. And so I'm like, all right, but they look at their phone because it's attached to their body. Even if you don't have a cell phone, you can follow the stuff at top, and you can use a computer or whatnot, and you get the same stuff. I will do some emails, but I'm going to predominantly communicate with the seniors, and apparently a lot of you, through Remind. Because I can do it fast, like I'm typing, like I'm texting. Okay. Requirements. All right, guys, I kind of have to be real with this one for just a minute. To graduate from Clark County School District, CCUSD, there is requirements in the state of Nevada. To get a high school diploma, students must complete their required coursework. It doesn't matter if I like them and they're cute, as I told a sweet pea yesterday, if I even gave you a card. It does not matter. If you don't have your graduation requirements done in your courses, you are not going to graduate. Students who do not complete those requirements for a diploma will not be allowed to participate in graduation. The ceremony, the grad walk, any of it. Students earning an adjusted diploma will be eligible to participate in graduation ceremonies. And I had to put this up here. Summer graduation is August the 4th at 1 p.m. at the Orleans Arena. I do not want to go to the Orleans Arena at 1 o'clock in August in a graduation gown, because you only can imagine it's going to be 150 degrees. But I will definitely go to the Orleans and give a sweet pea their diploma because they lost their mind and did not finish their coursework in the 2 classes they have to this semester or this year is English 12 and Econ, because first semester was government. If they're not passing those classes, I don't care how much I like them. Yeah, they won't graduate with us on our football field. And please don't call me and cry, because we'll cry together. And I'm like, I'll see you in August. I'll cheer, and I hand them their diploma. I want to make that very clear. I don't want to do that. I am required by law. And I have done the Orleans before. It's just not the same. It's just not the same. So what are the graduation requirements? Oh, there's a lot. They have to do all these courses. I know you guys have seen this a million times. It's on our website. It's on CCSD's website. And here's all the graduation requirements, the core expectations, all those kind of things, how many credits they have to have. You can get to all of this on our website. And after this is all said and done, you're like, Amy, I want that graduation requirement brochure that you posted. Email me. I'll send it right to you. I promise. Okay, so that's the stuff I have to get out and get it said. Now let's do the fun parts. We know it's on our football field. It's at 7:30 p.m. The sun is just going down. Yes, it is warm. The sun goes, by the time we start doing, especially by the time we do my speech, the sun's gone down. Those first couple of speeches, the national anthem, the pledge, the sun is right there. Now the good news is we're not on the visitor side because the sun is bright on that side. It is not as bright where you're going to be. Is it going to be hot? It is. But you know, it's May, it's a beautiful day, and our kids get to graduate in our football field. The gates are going to open at 6:30. The gates are going to open at 6:30. I don't care if you are 6'10", and you can pole vault the fence, and you can go across that at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and get your little blanket, your Steelers blanket, all set out right in the center on that front row. Because when I send my custodian out there at 5 p.m. or 5:30 p.m., if there's a Steelers blanket on that front row, they're going to sweetly fold it up, put it in the press box, and that is what it is. We are not saving seats in advance for anyone. There's no chairs or coolers allowed. And it's not a tailgate party, guys. I understand that for many years, when we've gone to that football stadium, we have all had our camping chairs and our chairs and all those fun things. I understand that. This is not a football game. It is very different. I'm going to pack about 3,000 or 4,000 people in that football stadium, and we're all going to get to know each other really, really well. So we can't do camping chairs, and then the person behind me, if it was me, I wouldn't be able to see over that because you know I'm not even 5 foot. So that wouldn't happen, so we're not doing any of those things. You would be asked to leave them at the gate. So just don't bring them. Everybody must have a ticket. I repeat, everyone must have a ticket to get in. Yes, I understand. I have a little one here. I got one in the back and a couple, one right there. That sweet pea also has to have a ticket. Yes, I understand that basically probably in a month, that sweet pea is going to be sitting in your lap like it is right now. It does not matter. That sweet pea needs to have a ticket. I have to know how many people I let in. We're going to talk about tickets in a minute, so don't freak out because you start counting in your head. Oh my God, I've got 30 little ones that are coming. Okay, these are some important dates. Not all of the dates are on here, I'm not going to lie. I could probably have given you dates that was 3 pages that mean something to seniors. Senior Sunset is on Monday. Not that you probably care about that, but Senior Sunset is on Monday. Next week is our last Spirit Week, and it's not on here, but next Friday, not tomorrow, next Friday, the 24th, is the last assembly. I thought tonight I was going to have a lot of time to do more work, and I was working on a bunch of other stuff, and I didn't get this done, but I'm trying to get out the parent link to remind everybody that the last assembly is next Friday, and you can attend. If you want to attend this assembly, for senior parents especially, it is a good one to attend. You know now it's next Friday, so you can get off in time. You want to be here around 11-ish. Yes, it starts that assembly at 11:27, 11:25. I understand that. But if you want to get a spot and get in before the other 300 people that want to come and watch the assembly, you probably want to get in here early to see that. I know you're sitting here going, wait, it's the spring sports assembly. My child's not in those things. Why would I go? Because that's the night, the assembly, we always say goodbye to our seniors. The very last thing that we do is we bring the seniors from the stands down to the floor. They sit and they watch the slideshow. You may have already heard, or maybe you haven't, but they have been working on sending photos to our kids, our student council kids who's doing the actual slideshow, and it'll be shown. It's always about 8 or 9 minutes. That assembly is longer than any of them. We always go over. It just happens. It is what it is. So that assembly is on the 24th. Now, the other big date that you need to think of in your mind that you want to circle is Grad Walk, and that's May the 8th. Does everybody know what Grad Walk is? Okay. I'm going to go into great detail what Grad Walk is if you're new to Boulder City or new to us and you don't know what that is or what we do with Grad Walk. But that is our senior day. For as long as I can still get away with it, our seniors won't have to attend classes that day. They get to do senior day activities. So we start off with getting their caps and gowns. So that's when they get their caps and gowns. Everybody asks me, when does that happen, Miss Wagner? I need it right now for senior pictures, or at church we're doing this big thing. I get all those things. If you're doing if you're doing a senior photo thing and you don't have one that you can borrow from somebody else, talk to us. We'll try to get you one that you can borrow really quick for those photos. But everybody will have their cap and gown as long as they are in good standing. Now what that means is they have paid all their fines and they're on track to graduate. Right now I've got 5 sweet peas that are not. I'll get to that. May 8th, we start with getting out caps and gowns. We start in the cafeteria. It is a 7:30 morning. Then we go into senior breakfast. Senior breakfast is put on by the senior class. From the senior breakfast, we go right into senior awards. This is not open to the public. Sorry, guys. We go into senior awards. And then after that, we start Grad Walk. I can tell you from experience, Grad Walk is going to start around 8:45 a.m. And I'm going to tell you where we're going to be at different spots and why it's going to be where it is. And that's what May 8th looks like. May 8th, kids get done around 10-ish, and then they go. Used to, a long time ago, and I say this 10 years ago, 15 years ago when I first got here, they also did a school gift. And usually they would go and they would clean up the quad or paint. And as kids got a little more rambunctious, one year I saw half of my golf team in the palm trees hanging upside down with paint rollers. And then a limb broke. And I was like, oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me. And so I was trying to make sure I didn't have to expel somebody the last 2 weeks of school. So we don't do senior gifts like that anymore. Like, let's go and paint the baseball field because the grass gets painted too. You guys know. I mean, anyway. So we don't do that anymore. The good news is once they get done with Grad Walk, and they collect their belongings, I tell them, go have fun with you guys. Half of you are going to be there anyway. Go out to have second breakfast. Go have lunch. Go enjoy the day. Because the rest of 2 weeks is going to go really fast. Okay. The last week of school. So I want you to think of the last week of school. It starts on the 18th. That's a Monday. So I'm going to skip around some things, but I hope it all makes sense. When you think about the secondary schools, the last 3 days of that school, that's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, is half days. We get out at 11:40-ish. On that first day of final exams, that Wednesday, that is the 20th, it's periods 1 and 2. So they have final exams for periods 1 and 2. The very next day, they have periods 3 and 4. I know you're looking at me and going, Miss Wagner, I know this part. Everybody else on campus on the Friday, the same day they graduate, is going to have exams 5 and 6. Your sweet peas will not. And the reason why they will not is because I have to have grades finalized the day before. Because I have to make sure all of them graduate. And we have to make sure what kind of diploma they get, because you know there's all these different kinds of diplomas. And there will be some that will be right on the cusp, that will be going, yes, I said that just like that, because that's about what we're doing on pins and needles come that day. Because of that, if seniors have a 5th period or a 6th period, and I know not all seniors do, but if they do, they will take those exams on the 18th and the 19th. They are not block days. It's normal class days. That's why they have 2 days. So they will start their exams on that Monday and Tuesday. I do realize that there are state competitions and all those kind of fun things and AP tests, and we will work around all that stuff. So by May 21st, they will have all their exams done. Teachers will finalize grades, and we'll have that information. On May 22nd, Friday, the day they graduate that night, we have graduation practice. It is a mandatory practice. And then they check out. They will all receive one of these wonderful, bright yellow on cardstock senior checkout forms that they will take with them every day of their final exams. They have to get a signature from every single teacher after they take the exam to simply say, yes, I turned in my book. Yes, this is my grade, and I'm good to go. They also have to get the signature by our librarian, Mrs. Lee, because they have to turn in their Chromebooks. Now, I understand that they're still taking exams, but they're going to have to get that turned in as soon as they're done. They also have to make sure they have no library fines. Like, you know, that book that they read in 5th grade that still is under their bed that they have not found, that they still owe King? Yeah, okay. Guess what? That's like $9.25, and if they don't pay that, they need to know that and pay that as well. Chances are they've been told about that about 10 years. Another signature they have to get is the banker. That's Miss Julie Rignell. Julie, would you raise your hand back there? Yeah, she's in that bright orangish peaches. You can't miss her. They have to get her signature as well. She's a very popular person the last week of school. The last person they have to get a signature on is Mrs. Cox and Mr. Bradshaw. That's the counselor. The very last signature. It's not the first signature, it's the last one. Because what Miss Cox does is has everybody's transcripts and all their grades. She writes down what diploma they got and check off, yes, they graduated. They are then handed the magic things. Does anyone know what they're handed? They get handed their graduation tickets. Do you know why I give them the graduation tickets the day of checkout, the day of graduation practice? Does anyone want to guess why I give them that day? Okay, they will lose them. Anyone else another good answer? They won't come to the mandatory graduation practice unless I have these tickets saying, your mom's going to say, go to that practice. So that also is going to happen here. On May 22nd, we're going to have graduation practice. It starts in the theater. It starts at 8 o'clock. We're going to go through the whole thing. They get their index cards. We're going to practice how to say their name when they go across the stage. I'm going to tell them a million different things that I told them yesterday that they've forgotten. And then we're going to line up. Yes, they have an order that they're lining up in. It is not the same order that they were in for Grad Walk. Because I know you were thinking, wait a minute, they were on this side. On that index card, they're going to know exactly which side they're on. It's going to say either L or an L or an R and a number, and that's the order they're going to be in. Or it's going to say S because that's the stage. They're going to line up in that order. We're going to practice walking from the theater to the track because, you know, they don't know how to do that. You laugh, but... And then we practice sitting down because we sit down in unison, and that's an issue. We have to practice that a couple times. And we go through the whole thing. We do practice saying every child's name going across the stage and me shaking all their hands, even though I'm going to shake them that night. We practice all of that. The only thing I don't practice with all of them sitting there is all the speeches. I practice with just the people on stage. As soon as I get all of them done with going through their names and that kind of stuff, usually around 9:35, 9:45, I release them to finish this work and to go get their tickets in this room with Mrs. Cox and Mrs. Agostini. That's Barb, in case you guys wondered. I keep the people on stage, and we go through every single speech once and sometimes 2 times. And then I release them. They're the last ones to get to go. And then they get this signed and all the stuff and get their tickets. So you will have them back with you, possibly, if they come home, around 10, 10:30, 11 o'clock. They will probably be on their way before I release the rest of the school. Because the rest of the school, remember, are taking exams 5 and 6. Now, I know I spent a lot of time explaining that. Is everybody good on that? Can you guys give me a thumbs up? I love it. You guys are almost here in school. Okay, graduation is at night. Students arrive only at 6:15 in the theater. Not you guys, sorry. I love all of you. You have raised them well, but no, you cannot come to the theater with them. Just them. I open the gates at 6:30, and then the ceremony begins at 7:30. That's the important dates. Grad Walk. I told you I was going to tell you about Grad Walk, and here we go. I started Grad Walk the first year I was principal in 2014. I decided we were going to walk around the school. It was the old school, if you know what that looked like back then. We started in the old theater that was done by the Ford family. And we went out those front doors. We went to the sidewalk because it's the only way you could go to the rest of school, by the sidewalk. And going that way, I had people just driving through, honking and waving, and I was like, kind of cool. And then we went through the school. It was the old school, right before they tore it down. We went through the school, and this was the pictures right here. And it was super cool. And I was like, wow, that was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. And so the next year, I did it, and I was talking to my good friends, and Ben Day was the principal at Mitchell, and he goes, Amy, can you come to Mitchell? And I said, sure. So we went to Mitchell. We walked down, turned around, went back through the school. We had a great time. Of course, I had to go to King, and then Garrett called me and said, really, Amy, you didn't come to Garrett? I'm like, this is a lot of walking, guys. Somewhere in the midst of all that stuff, we were building a new school, this one, and the year that this opened, the senior class, and it would have been the senior class of 2017. It would have been the class of 2017, actually got to walk on the concrete of this building. We walked through construction. The coolest photos I've ever seen. All the construction guys stopped working on all the risers and stuff, and I got special permission with every construction company CEO in the world because none of them had hard hats on. We walked through in our caps and gowns, and they were the very first class to walk in this building, which was kind of cool. After that, we really started going all around the loop of all the schools. And I kind of say, yeah, it's like it's a journey. It's kind of like Survivor. I know Survivor's on this 50th year, but I used to love Survivor a million years ago. And in the very beginning with those Survivors, when it got to the last 4 people, they would have their little polls, and they would go by the person with their name, and they would remember all the good fun stuff. Well, I felt like the Grad Walk was kind of like that. Is that you go through the places that meant so much to you and the places that you spend all this time. So, what we do on Grad Walk, this is the map. We start actually at our cafeteria. We go to the gym. We go through the side of the gym. Our kids come out. We step out of the cafeteria at 8:45 a.m. We walk kind of slow. We have the drum line with us. I do kind of walk fast and I lead them, and so sometimes I have to slow down because I forget, and the kids behind me are like, really, Miss Wagner, you walk too fast. I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm short. Okay, we go out this back door with the back side, and that is Avenue G. We go all the way down Avenue G, and then we come up to the junior high. The entire junior high comes out in their parking lot, and we go right through the middle of them on both sides. And then we come out on Adams, and we walk down Adams, and Adams is the longest street, and there's nothing fun that happens except people drive by and honk at us, and we wave, and we're all talking. I got Stuco right behind me, and so they're talking to me, and we're taking selfies and everything else, and it's just a fun day, except by this time my feet hurt, and so does everybody else's, because I'm wearing heels because I'm a slave to fashion. Finally, at around 9-ish, 9:05-ish, does anybody know why I need to get here around 9-ish? It's when they start. So I can tell you I'm going to be at the corner of Adams and Avenue B around 9 o'clock, because that's when I need to be there. They all come out. Now, Mr. Chirac, I have to tell him, I'm like, Mr. Chirac, you cannot have them on this other side by the baseball field. I cannot split both of them, and I get in trouble because technically I cannot close the street. Do I close the street? I do. But I'm not really supposed to, and so yeah, we just go with it. But we go down this whole area, all the way up that street by King and Mitchell, and then we turn down 6th Street, that's right in front of our football parking lot and the pool. And then we make our way, Eagle Drive, and then I go into the theater, and then I go into the 600 building, that's where all the science classrooms are. I come out by the library, and then I finally go into this building, but I start in the math wing. I go through the math wing, make that little loop. I come down by the English hallway. I come down this way, and I go right out the front door. And I go up to the big BCHS sign. I have all the kids stand on those steps, and we sing the fight song for one last time together. I know, everybody's like, oh, it is cool. Okay, there are 2 bright green X's. One of them is right here. If I'm a mom or a dad and I like to take photos, that's the first spot I want to be. Or that is a spot I want to be. And the reason why is A, you got all this shade by the pool. All those trees are right there. So as you're waiting, because you're going to get there early, and I know you are, that way you're not, getting sunburned and stuff. And you can see us come down, go up that street, and you see the entire class together, and that's really, really cool. The second place, because after we leave you can't really follow us, guys. I'm not going to let you into the school, I'm sorry. So then go around and then go stand up here by the BCHS sign. But I have a favor. I need you to leave me room to get through. I kind of giggle every time. I go out of the front doors and I see a wall of parents. And I'm like, I can't get through that. And so it almost takes us 10 minutes to go from the front door to the BCH sign because I can't get through that. So you can't be on that side. You can't be right there. Be on one of the sidewalk sides, in the parking lot, but not in front of the stairs. You can't be on the stairs because we never will make it with the kids. So you can't be there. And that's the second one. Now, can you be any other of these other places? Of course you can. I had a dad one time ride his bike the entire length with me. I waved and we had a conversation. I mean, that's just like what we do. You can do that. I don't care. But it's easier. Those two are the easy for walking and that kind of stuff. You can park in one spot and do both. Once they do the sign and we do the singing of the fight song, which everybody will want, I'll take a big photo and I'll move everybody out of my way. I'll take a big photo. We'll take a selfie. You know I will. And then I'll say, okay, guys, go get your stuff out of the cafeteria and go home. And I will shoo them along. I have a favor because I've seen this a million times. They're going to take off their gown and they're going to chunk it in the back of their car or in their trunk. Please find it and hang it up. You know them. And I would say it's just the boys, but it's the girls too. So please, I tell them not to do that, but you know they will. Okay, that's Grad Walk. I start. Yes, ma'am.
Have your kids keep hold of their cords, because cords get lost on the Grad Walk year after year after year.
All the time. And it's always windy.
Yep.
I've never had one what's not windy. One year it was almost freezing.
2019.
Thank you for reminding me of the year. I had another outfit planned that year, and it was like, wow, it's cold. We'll explain a lot of this stuff, but they'll get their cords and stuff before then. They need to make sure they have it on. Their tassels. The tassel needs to be really good on their cap. I always have people from Garrett and the 2 elementaries just bring me stuff that they find. And, we try to marry it back to the kids. And sometimes we're lucky and sometimes we're not. So that is a thing. Wow. Okay, caps and gowns. I'm going to go on this side for a while. Caps and gowns. They were $40. I think we have almost everyone is paid, but like 2 or 3 people. We have to May 1st. Please help me with that. And they get to keep their caps and gowns following graduation. All fees and fines must be paid before the gowns will be issued. And caps and gowns will be distributed. We already talked about that before the Grad Walk. So this is the fun, easy stuff. Okay, medals and cords. This is what everybody asks me, like, oh, medals and cords, medals and cords. Students in a club will need to see their club advisor to get their cord. Now this is like band, student council, interact, publications, game club, those things. Those are activities, those are clubs. Some clubs, they have a lot of money in their accounts and they give those to their seniors, and that's just how it is. Some, they raise no money at all and it costs like $10. So the advisor of that club will know that information. Students receiving an advanced diploma, a college and career diploma, a GPA academic distinction, that's high honors or honors, will need to pay the banker. And they will need to bring their receipt to to Miss Barb, not the main office, to Barb, to receive their cord, medal, stole, etc. I'm going to go into that a little detail. Students who meet the criteria can purchase the regalia from the banker after April 23rd. Okay, guys. Did you guys remember seeing my email about the new banking program? I know. They love us so much. We're getting to pilot the program. I know. Julie, our banker, is so excited. This is the thing. Every school is going to have to do it. Everybody else is going to do it in June, July. We got a month ahead of time. Okay? So, it sounds fine. It's a pain to change over from whatever company they're using now that I'm sure they paid a lot of money for to the other one. I get that stuff. But this is where it gets sticky. Is they're shutting off our capabilities to use the credit card machine with the old program on next Friday, the day of the assembly. So, if kids need to use a credit card to pay for those cords and stoles and all that fun stuff, they got like a day and a half. Now, can they use cash? Yes. Can they use that check? Yes. But you know how we all got used to using credit cards. So it's kind of a thing. We're going to have to use hand receipts of everybody that comes in from the 24th to the 6th of May. I know. So be like, nice to Julie when you go. So you can do cash, you can do credit, you can do check, you can do card, on the 23rd and the 24th. That's because we have to figure out stuff, and I'm going to explain all that stuff. After May the 6th, the new system will be up, and you can do it again with a credit card. But now you get to use the new system and have to have an account. Now, this whole time, can you use cash? Yes. Can you use a check? Yes. There's only like a week and a half that you can't use a credit card because they're shutting it off and doing the whole system. We get a whole new whatever and going to the new one, okay? Cords and stoles and medals range from about $10 to $20, depending on what it is. Thank you. Thank you for knowing what I was looking for. I was like, I don't know what happened to it. Okay. We purchase some of the graduation regalia for students. I purchased medals for valedictorians, the salutatorians. I purchased medals for our top 10 seniors. I purchased cords for the Presidential Award of Excellence. I purchased cords for the ACT Achievement. I purchased cords for AP Scholar, CTE Certification, and the Seal of Biliteracy Medal. I purchased those for them. They do not have to buy those. And I will give these to them the day of Grad Walk to put it on, to go and lose it. I'm kidding. The ones that kids have to purchase. They have to purchase the Diploma Awards. Now there's 2 diplomas that you would get a cord for or medal for. The first one is the Advanced Diploma cord, and the second one is the College and Career Diploma. That's a medal. Now these are the things. This is 4 years. These are diplomas. So we have to forecast. So Mrs. Cox sits in the forecasting sandbox of IC and figures out every possibility of a GPA of your sweet peas based on the classes they have and what they're doing right now. It is a labor-intensive process. That's 4 years, so we have to figure out the GPA. So the GPA they have right now is not the one that they're using. It's the one they end up with. That's why we have to know exactly the day they graduate, the grades get done, and then we know what diploma they get. So yes, we do print 2 diplomas for a lot of students because we don't know which one they're going to get. We do the very best we can to make sure we put on the list which cord or medal they're supposed to get. If they goof and they fall off, you guys know what I'm talking about, then we may have to say, you didn't get this medal, now you get this cord, and we do that. So that's the diploma awards. You have to purchase that. They're like $12. Now, the GPA academic distinction, you could do this right now because it's 7 semesters. That's how that's determined. So they get a high honors gold stole if they have a 3.866 or higher, and they get an honors cord if it's a 3.5 to a 3.865, and that's weighted GPA. I know that's a lot. So you already know if they get one of those already, which is good because this is not forecast. This is actually with 7 semesters. And the last one that students have to purchase is activity and club cords. I'm going to tell you right now, some cords, like I said, activities, clubs, they have money, and so they go, congratulations. Some, they don't. They're like, it's $10. I know a lot of you are sitting there going, wait a minute. What about those GPAs and the grade levels of academic honors and stuff? This is all on our website. And if you go to our website, look at counseling and stuff, and you go over to graduation information, you will see all this stuff. But I put it up here. It talks about the whole graduate with the honors with the distinction, and the graduating valedictorian, and GPA information, non-weighted and weighted. But that is all on our website too. But I put that up there. If you have any questions about that, you can follow that whole through with the levels of academic honors and whatnot. Okay, I knew the next question people were going to ask me, well, wait, what are those activities and clubs that you're talking about? Here's a list of them. Band, color guard, blood. Yes, if they donate blood twice, they get a wonderful cord, and they're so excited to get that cord. I'm like, yay, go, go. Cheer, choir, game club, interact, jazz band, National Honor Society, publications, robotics, skills USA, Spanish, that's 4 years Spanish, student council, thespians, video production, and multimedia communications. Those are the activities / clubs that they might see. They'll need to see the advisor for this. Senior checkout. Now, I promised you and I told you that they were going to get the senior checkout form the first day of their final. That's when they get it. The counselors work with the seniors through this process, but they're required to have met all the academic requirements in order to participate in Grad Walk every year. Unfortunately, a couple of kids do not get to participate in Grad Walk because I hold them to work on their classes. It is what it is. The banker and the librarian will verify that all seniors have been cleared of fines, missing books, etc. Students have to turn in their Chromebooks before they get done, and their cords, their charging cords. And then, of course, once we verify all their grades, there's no outstanding fines and all those wonderful fun things, students receive their graduation tickets. And they do that the day of graduation. Okay, tickets. Kids get 10 tickets. Okay, there's colors. And there's colors for a reason. Every senior gets 5 blue border tickets because we're a blue that we're having to hold the graduation in the gym because it's raining, hailing, coming in thunderstorms, snowing, I don't know, whatever it is. No, we've never had to do that since I've been here, knock on wood. One year I thought we were going to have to. It came a thunderstorm, I forget which year, where it rained an hour and a half before graduation, and it cleared up. We wiped off all the chairs, and yay, we all wore jackets because it was freezing that year. But the blue tickets, if I have to hold graduation in the gym, I'm going to send it out on Remind. I'm going to tell people it's in the gym. The only tickets that will be allowed in the gym are the blue ones. Guys, I can't put 3,000 people in that gym. So the 5 most important people to your world needs to have these blue tickets. Now, can these work for the football field? Yes, they work for both places. Indoor, outdoor, doesn't matter. These are the big tickets. Every senior will get 5 of these wonderful gold yellow tickets. This only works for the football field, guys. Only works for the football field. So they get 10, 5 of each. If you have a senior and they are on the stage, they get 2 of these wonderful VIP tickets. They're going to sit on the track with me. The seniors that are doing this know already, and they get extra 2 tickets. If you're getting extra tickets and you need extra tickets because Ms. Wagner, you said those little ones have to have a ticket. We weren't counting on that. They're going to get these gold tickets. You need to email Barb Agostini, that's our registrar. Her email is right there. Please email, don't call her. She's getting old, she forgets she talked to you. I'm kidding. Email her, that way it's there. And I have a trail, and I know that we have it, and we make a whole list, and it's really easy. You're going to get these extra ones. Now, this is the thing, guys. Ask for 10 first. If you need like 25 or 30, please, you don't need 55 tickets, but extra tickets. But if that's what you really, truly, truly need, because your entire neighborhood is coming, then you're going to have to wait until I do all of them, and then we'll go to that. But I do make sure everybody can get extra tickets before I start giving out 35 tickets to you guys. Extra ones. Everybody understand that? You're going to get all these tickets at one time in that envelope at the end of senior checkout. I don't care how many extra ones you ask for. Everything that's in that pack, you're going to get all those tickets at one time when they turn in their checkout card. If you are worried that your sweet pea is not going to know how to get to you, you make sure you find them on your iPhones before they leave this theater and meet them, or this lecture hall. Is there questions about tickets? Yes?
I'm just curious if we only need 5, if we don't need our extra ones, or the logo price up.
I do not encourage you guys bidding for tickets, but we always work it out. And yes, kids, seniors talk to each other and say, hey, can you help me out with this and that kind of stuff because I really need this extra, I don't need this many. We let kids take care of that. I don't manage that at all because it gets too crazy on that day. You can only imagine. Okay, email Barb if you need extra tickets. And can you email her today? Yes. Some people already have. I know. Diploma distribution. During the ceremony, kids do not receive their diploma. They only receive a diploma cover. Do you guys know that? Yes. They're going to get this thing. They're going to open it up. It's blank. I'm going to shake their hand with a blank diploma. There is nothing in this thing when they get it. Their real diploma, they're going to pick up. The important thing, they're going to pick up right after the ceremony behind the stage by the counselors and a couple of brave senior teachers that we bribe to do that. Now this is the thing, guys. We stand back there for about 20 minutes. Come 9 o'clock, we're not back there anymore. I guarantee you're not there at 11:30. I had a kid try to contact me at 11:30 at night going, Mrs. Wagner, where's my diploma? I'm like, did you go get it? No. Okay. You have to come see us on Friday. Or next week. No. So they need to do that. The actual diploma is, they get it right after. I mean, can they wait 5 minutes? Yes, they can wait 5 minutes. Can they wait 10 minutes? Yes. But in that first 20 minutes after the ceremony, they need to come get the diploma. Now they're going to get it in this envelope, this white envelope. In that diploma, they're also going to get a nice little letter. I don't know if this is a nice or not, but it's a letter from me, and they get a super, super nice graduation program. The ones at the door are going to be the black and whites, which are fine, but this is the one that you put in the, your scrapbook and your fun stuff. That's also in there for you to have. So you want the envelope. So you know already to ask for it, because you know they're going to run off and they're going to forget because they just graduated, and, So, hey, where's the envelope? Where's that diploma? They're like, oh, that envelope here. They'll forget the diploma's even in that thing. Trust me. Because every year I get a phone call or I get someone emailing me, where was my diploma again? I'm like, in that white envelope. I threw that away. I think it's in the trunk of my car. To get a new diploma is an act of Congress, guys. So it takes a while. And a lot of kids need it for what they're doing next. Getting ready, what do I wear? Well, yeah, they gotta wear clothes. Underneath their gown for graduation, we're asking them to dress nice. Nice pants, collared shirt, dresses, those kind of things. Nice. I'm not saying it has to be a suit. Please don't put them in a suit. It'll be way too hot. Appropriate shoes, yes. No flip-flops. No. No flip-flops, guys, it's not that. No athletic shoes. I always tell anyone that's wearing heels, wedge heels are the best. They have a long walk. They have to walk all the way from the theater to the center of the track, and then they got to navigate the steps, and they're nervous, and they're not thinking, and every year I have someone trip on their heels because they're not used to walking on the grass and all those kind of things, and it's kind of crazy. So the whole heels thing is always an issue, and I giggle because they never wore heels in their entire life. They wear it for prom for 5 minutes, and they take them off, and then they wear it for graduation. I'm like, why in the world are you doing this? Caps and gowns, they need to be ironed or steamed. We all know this. We know that material is flimsy, and it needs to be very, very light heat. They'll be scorched easily. If someone in this room could take care of that for them, because you know how they are, I'd appreciate that. Yes, their graduation caps, the mortar boards, can be decorated to specific guidelines. This is the second year the district has allowed this. If they do that, it has to be flat. In other words, they can't 3D print something or flower on top of it. It has to be flat. And then it has to fit exactly on the mortar board. It can't go over. It needs to be approved, please. I'd like to be seen a design by Grad Walk Day. And you guys know what I won't allow. I won't allow rude, violent, obscene, it needs to be appropriate. Getting there, what do I bring? They got to bring their cap and gown, their tassel, school-sponsored cords and medallions, and an index card. The index card will be there with their name on it, and that's it. Nothing else. No bags, no purses. Yes, they can do the keys, that kind of stuff. But no flowers, no snacks. No, they're not bringing it in and out. Phones or anything else. I get they're gonna have their phones, but guys, you guys take their phones. That way they're not stressing about it because they're gonna want their phone as soon as they graduate. You have it in the stands, you give it to them when they come down, then they have it. It's all done. We lock everything up in the theater, and we get back done. We go up there and we open it up. So nothing. Every year I have kids that want to bring weird things. I'm like, no, you're gonna leave it here. Getting lined up, what does that look like? Where do I stand? Kids are going to receive their cards when they arrive at the theater. They're going to find out their number. They'll line up in numerical order. It will be a right or a left and then numbers. After the stage lineup, graduates will be only in the lineup area. Dorian will be in the lobby of the theater taking photos. And they need to be lined up no later to go by 7 p.m. Staff will be in the lineup area to assist. And then this is not the same lineup as the Grad Walk. I already told you the Grad Walk, they get to decide who they walk with and where they are. They decide that. For this one, I'm putting them in line. Making an entrance. Yes, we do make an entrance. How do they enter the football stadium? By the truck. It's kind of cool. This is one of the best photos ever. You see people are just getting here. On some of these photos, guys, you need to be here before then, and you know there's nowhere to park. So, I mean, we already know that already. So, one of the best photos, I think, is going in. Oh, this is one you can see people coming in. Yes, they probably want to put bobby pins or something in those caps, especially if it's windy, because they blow off every year. We'll have one blow off, usually while they're on stage giving a speech, but that always happens. They always look so cute. When we do the Pledge of Allegiance, this is the only time I tell the seniors they will not have to take off their hats, their graduation caps, because it's a special occasion. So they do not have to take off their caps when we do the Pledge of Allegiance. Speakers. It's a full ceremony, but it doesn't matter how many vowels and sounds we have. It doesn't matter how many graduates we have. It's still about an hour. We start with the Pledge of Allegiance, National Anthem. We welcome, do the intro of the dignitaries. We have one salutatorian, they speak. We have 6 valedictorian, they all speak. The class of 2038, this is probably my favorite part of the ceremony. The class of 2038 will give advice to the graduating seniors. It is a cute moment. I will speak, and then I will turn it over to our trustee. They will accept the class. And then after that, everyone gets their diplomas, and then we do the turning of the tassel speech. That is the very last speech, and then they throw their tassels. That is the speakers, folks. You guys figured this out already? Graduates sit here, the VIP guest right here, and this is staff on that side. Guest behavior. I don't have to tell you guys this, but I want to make sure every single student that walks across that stage gets to hear their name. And if people are yelling and screaming and whooping and hollering and whatnot, then that next person doesn't get to hear their name. So, yeah, you know. I don't want to remove somebody for not following the rules, but we will. And you guys know if you have that uncle that's, you know, interesting, tell them not to come drunk. I'm kidding, but you know. Okay. We will have professional photographers that will be on the field to take photos during the ceremony and in the theater before the ceremony. That's Dorian. So Dorian will be taking the photos. You don't have to get them or not, but they will take photos with everybody, you know, before the wind and all that kind of jazz. And then they take photos with me. So they walk across the stage, whichever side they do, they get their diploma, they come to me. I'm going to shake hands on this side and smile, and then I turn, I shake hands with this side, and then they go off. So that's what that looks like. They're standing right in front of me, and they're taking that photo. That's the 2 photos that they get, if you so choose to purchase them. You guys are not allowed in the field until after the ceremony, and we already know about the diplomas. After the ceremony behind the stage, interpreting services are available. I need you to contact me if you need interpreting services. And then it will be live streamed on YouTube. We already talked about that. I don't know what that was about. Oh, let's take a look. I know, I do every year. I've seen this video or videos like this, and it doesn't matter what group it is, I get chills. That's the moment that everybody's waiting for. So just so you know, no, we do not go to the middle of the football field with 2026 and they stand on 2026 to throw their caps. I have the new turf field, and we can't do that, sorry. That field was way too expensive to paint on it. So, we do it right here in their chairs. So I know you're super excited, they just turned the tassel, they do all those fun things, but this is when you want your camera, because this is the next big photo. And if anyone wants to send me your video or your picture, go right ahead. I will steal it and love it, because you know that's what I'll do. And then, sorry. Okay. The paper has started doing the Grad Tabs. The last 2 years they've done these. This was 2024's Grad Tab, and then the other one is 2025's Grad Tab. What it is a picture of all the seniors and some ads. I'm not gonna lie, there's ads. But you have all the pictures of the seniors in there and stuff. As long as on your online registration form, as long as you said that they could have outside and external and internal media, they get to go in here. I've contacted the 5 people who said no to that, and they're sending me emails that they want to do that. So that's what this is. This will go in the paper. I think it's on the flyer of when it goes in the paper, at what time it's going to be released. The publication date they're saying is May 14th, which is the week before. You will get one when you come in that night, and the kids will get one that day as well. Then this is the paper, and they printed the flyer, and I gave it to them. They can do baby ads. So yes, you can purchase something else. I know, a baby ad. Or a congratulations thing. If you want to do that, that is on you. This does not have anything to do with me. But I do print it, and I do this whole thing. They do not do the kindergarten photos anymore in the paper. They do the Grad Tab. Cal is Crane, he's the general manager of the review, and he's very excited about this, and last 2 years, and he's so funny about this whole thing. And anyway, that was 2025's, so you can see what it looked like. And 2024 is on your flyer, if I believe. You contact him for that stuff. This has nothing to do with me. I want you guys to understand that.
Side of your face. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce you to the now graduating class of 2024.
It almost sounds like she has a southern accent when she did that. Okay. So this is the moments, guys, and this is why we're about this whole thing today. Once they do that, they will go crazy. I hope they remember to get their diploma, and then I will be shooing them off the football field because they have grad night party. It is that night. They need to be at the Park and Recs by 9:30. I'm shooting them off by 9 o'clock. They hang out, they do. We get them all there, and they're spending about $35,000 on the seniors. If you don't know, it's any senior in Boulder City. Yes, seniors at Boulder City High School and any senior in Boulder City that lives in Boulder City. This is the very last time that the seniors will be all together. Yes?
This has a different location on this sheet. It says Boulder Golf Course.
Yes, it's changed, and I'm sorry about that. This is correct.
Oh, that's correct.
Yes.
Okay.
They're going to Park and Rec because they changed it. They moved the Memorial Day festivities to later, and so we could do that. That's why. Now I'm going to tell you guys, not all of them has done this. This is a safe thing for kids. This is done by our town. Hardly any towns do this. They're safe. They're not drinking. No one's worried about what they're doing. Encourage your kids to do this because this is the last time with their kids. Because the next morning, they're not anymore. And then, they're silly at this moment. They forget a lot of different things, but I always tell parents, if you can encourage them to do this, do this. They can still do this, they just need to see Barb. A couple years ago, they finished that and they stopped by the sign and they took a photo. It's cool. That's the last time they get to do that stuff. We all know that we say that these are my best friends and I will be with you forever and we're going to stay in touch. But they don't. Some of them do and some of them don't. How many friends are you still with friends that graduate with you? Just okay. I've been here a long time. I have talked a long time. It's about an hour meeting though. Questions? Yes, in the back. Say it loud.
For the assembly next week, is there going to be a recording of the slideshow?
That is a student council question. And I don't know the answer to that. And you'll have to wait because a lot of those sweet peas are at state conference right now. And so I don't know. Usually it's not. But I don't know. Next question. Yes, ma'am.
Piggybacking that question, because there's a bunch of students that will be gone that day for the Jazz Band Festival, so.
We're hoping we can change it where they can get back in time. We've been working on that. So we're still working. I'm still hopeful. I am well aware of that. We didn't know it was going to be jazz band until it all of a sudden was jazz band. And we already had that assembly, and the problem with that assembly is there's no other date.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We're trying. We are trying. We're trying to switch with the person in front of us, the school in front of us. Because we're the second school that morning. Yes?
When you said no flowers, is that the parents no flowers at the ceremony?
At the ceremony, the whole thing with people bringing things, like they can't bring like bouquets to walk with. If you have bouquets in the stands and you give it to them later, that's fine. Now that I'm here and I'm telling you this, they can have flower lays, yes. Candy lays, no. Money lays, no. Stuffed animal lays, no. Flower lays, yes. Yeah, afterwards. You hold them in the stands for them, and you wear them proudly, and you give it to them. But to walk across the stage, they can have only the graduation stuff that we give them. They can have cultural regalia that I talked to the seniors about already. They know that, and that's why the Hawaiian lays are allowed. But candy lays are a no. Money lays are a no. A no to walk across. But then afterwards, sure.
Just flowers to walk. Okay.
Lays. Not holding the hand like you're getting married. No.
I got that. Thank you.
Yes.
And then one more, just the stadium seating, no? Or
What do you mean? Like those one that has a back?
just the little cushions or maybe?
A little cushion's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not going to yell at anybody for a cushion. And I know that some people have back issues, and they're like, I just have a little thing that you just set up like this, and that's fine. No one's going to yell at that. The thing is, you can't bring in a camping chair, like I'm going camping with. Question, yes, ma'am.
Can grandparents ride their little scooters and just park above on the railing
Yes.
up above?
The only place, guys, you guys know that stadium. I don't have ADA except when you walk in. So the only place wheelchairs or spot is at the very top of the rail. So we have some real chairs setting up there, kind of stuff, and we have signs that says this is handicap only sections, and of course, yes, handicap and like someone else with them, of course. But I have no way of getting a wheelchair down to the bottom. I just have no way of doing it safely. It's not ADA. And when they redid the stadium, they looked at me and they said, your town will go crazy if we take these concrete bleachers out. I'm like, yes, they will. And so they said, Amy, we cannot touch the stadium. I'm like, I know that. So, up above. And I have police officers and I have staff, and if people are being nasty and not letting handicapped people sit up there, we have people to take care of that. But I've never had an issue with someone that obviously needed to get to the rail. Questions? Yes, ma'am.
What is senior sunset?
Senior sunset is when the seniors get together and in the quad, they barbecue. They sometimes watch a movie, play some games, and chill out. And stay out of trouble. Yes, it's just kids. Senior sunset is just for kids. I just kind of tell you that date, that way you know. Yes, ma'am.
cultural stole, is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All the details of grad night, my wife just texted, are they going to get on charter buses?
They are going to get on charter buses. They go first to the Park and Rec, and they feed them. They have, Mike Pacini is doing DJing, I'll tell you that. There's lots and lots and lots of food. And then about 10:30-ish, 11-ish, they get on charter buses. And they go to some secret location. It's not where they went last year, I'll tell you that. And they come back, and they give out about $20,000 worth of cash. A little bit of time ago, they used to give out a car, and then they decided that more kids could get a lot of cash and stuff, because we gave, or it wasn't me, the Rotary gave laptops and those kind of things. But then what they were really discovering is that kids wanted cash. Some people had laptops already, or Chromebooks, or those kind of things. They needed cash, so they give out a lot of cash. If you're not there, you don't get it.
And only like 80 kids have turned in the form. And we
Only
have
80.
140. So like, tell your child, did you turn in the form for that? Because
They can still turn it in. 130. There is a form, question mark? Yes.
yes, I emailed it out to all the parents.
We don't open our email.
If they're over 18, they've been signing it themselves. Yeah.
Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
I was wondering for seating, are people seated on both sides?
No, only the one side, home side. And we packed so many people in there, it's not even funny. It's awesome, actually.
So are we the only ones funding the grad?
Yes.
Or Rotary?
Yes. It's Worship Fest. Is where they get all their money. Anything else?
Do we know which side our child will be on?
You won't know until that day.
So that morning, the morning during practice, they'll know, and then they can tell.
And I tell the kids, this is where you tell your parents. And I tell them, I said, you're sitting right here. Take a photo of yourself right now. Send it to your parents where they know what side to be on. I tell them to do that. Because, you know, they always miss the left and right. They get that wrong. So it's fine. I tell them to take a photo. I try. I really do try. Questions? Okay, guys, I'm not going anywhere. Yes, Mrs. Cox. Oh, I know what she has. Oh, you have to show them, but you got to use the mic.
Two quick things. Okay, first of all, in the graduation booklet, we put all of their scholarships, college acceptance. I only have that from what students report to me. So I just sent everybody an email a couple days ago that said, with a link, like fill out any college acceptance, any scholarships, because I want to make sure that I brag on these kids, okay? So I just wanted to make sure it's okay to micromanage your kids on that. The other thing, yes,
When do you need that by? 'Cause
May 11th, May 10th, 11th. I don't know, I put it in the email, but it's about that time.
Guys,
Yeah.
you do know what that is, right? It's everything cool about your kid. What awards they got, what schools they got accepted to, even ones they got accepted they're not attending. Whatever scholarship, as much as possible about it, because then we have all its money amounts, and at the very beginning of this, it will say how many scholarships that we got, and you know, we always like to say how much, and I always say that number at graduation, and that's almost 3 million. But we always use that. But if you don't tell us any of this stuff, we have no idea. And every time parents will go, oh, you didn't say that they got accepted to this college. I'm like, you didn't tell us.
What about traffic citations?
That's the addendum. So, and the other thing I just wanted to say really quick, and I'm going to try not to cry, I'm going to cry anyway. But, you guys, I really love your kids. And this is a special group. This is the first group that I've had all 4 years. And some of them I've had 9 years. Like I think about I think Eric Garza, I had him, Mitchell King, I had them all 9 years. Hazel, I mean so many of them, Kyle. And my last year at King, these kids, these 5th graders all signed their names. So like I can see Eric's and Nate Lewis, who likes to, always likes to be a standout right there in color. They signed this back for me in 5th grade. When they were in 5th grade, now I'm watching them graduate. So anyways, I just wanted to say I love your kids. And I'm so thankful that you guys let me work with your kids. So thank you. Sorry. You're fine.
And if you didn't know, she was a grandmother again very recently. Okay, other questions? Okay, this is the thing, guys. I'm sure you have my email. I send you parent links. You have to email me off of something when I send you something about the assembly or something about the yearbook or I don't know, whatever else. Some of the times when you ask me questions, it's not me that needs to answer it. I might send it to, let's say, Mrs. Strachan, my yearbook advisor, or somebody else. But if you send them to me, I will forward them to the right people and we will get back to you. But you know how to get a hold of me, so do that. You have the remind information. A lot of you took it, some of you didn't, it's fine. But whatever you need, we're here for you. It's a journey, guys. We always say it takes a village to raise kids, and I'm not joking when I say it takes a village to raise kids. And I know it's been a journey for a lot of these sweethearts. And I cannot wait to see them graduate and have those moments that in a year or so I'll be showing their video, because it's kind of cool. I will be standing here. Mrs. Igo's in the back. I saw Miss Julie's back there. If you have fines, if you are like, oh, do we have this? She's here. She will help you. She will walk you down to the banking. You can do those kind of things. I will text you when you can pay for stuff and reminders about Grad Walk and all those other things. And if we have to have a graduation inside, I will do that as well. But pray for great weather and not hot. You guys have been awesome. Have a great evening. Go Eagles.
Have